was going to point that out to you. You missed it. It was a still, and you looked really...
Hi, everybody! You had a fever dream, and you may have seen us start this dream earlier, but that was not us. That was crazy people. Hi! Thank you so much for tuning in. This is Indigo Chameleon, and it is Tuesday night. It's time for some Dungeons and Dragons. As we do our weekly game set in Wonderland, years after the events of Alice in Wonderland took place. We have a few quick announcements before we get into tonight's game, and it's a bit of a doozy, so I'm anxious and ready and willing to jump in. So tonight, as I mentioned before, is Wonder. There's nothing going on here on Indigo on Wednesday night, but on Thursday evening, it is time for some wow. We got some World of Warcraft, Indigo Chameleon, and you are free to join us for an amazing adventure and come hang out with us. And please hang out with us on Discord, and you can find out some more information about how you can create a character and join the Indigo Chameleon Guild as we do some more fungeons. It's like when you do a dungeon, but it's more fun. We put the fun in fungeon. And then on Friday, we have a special one-shot happening here on Indigo Chameleon, and I'm not DMing. Who is DMing?
Fuck that guy.
Mama!
Look at him over there!
So he's doing a special one-shot if you happen to live in the Central Florida area and you want to play D&D, unless you have a full cast already, we have not touched base.
I'm looking for... are you going to play Mr. Magic Madigan?
I'll tell you tomorrow. I'm waiting on feedback from work.
I'm looking for 2 more available people.
I'm playing! I'll call out!
I'm looking for 2 more.
I'm looking for 1 more available people.
I'm still looking for 2
Mandrake is
more.
playing unless you happen to be from Mandrake's place of employment, in which case he is not feeling well. And
I'm so sick, you guys.
So we're looking for 2 more players, so hit us up on the Discord. I'm excited. 1 more player. Last gang. I'm so excited that I get to play Dungeons and Dragons, so this is great. We're going to have a good time. And this is a cool new system that's not quite, but kind of Dungeons and Dragons, but it's going to be great. So tune in for that. On Sunday, Saturday, there's usually a little pop-up stream. Like there's usually a little World of Warcraft or something of that sort. On Sunday, it's Phenomenon with our new system again. The audience has voted, and this week it's going to be Pokemon.
Pokemon,
now, it's you and me. I cannot decide whether I want the players to be Pokemon trainers or actually Pokemon. And I'm torn. So I may actually leave this to Discord to vote
Oh my
as
god,
well.
can people assign us Pokemon?
I have an idea.
What?
What if there's 4 players, right?
Yes.
What if 2 of them are Pokemon trainers and 2 of them are their Pokemon?
Done.
I'm going to be Pokemon. I'm going to put in Discord. Y'all tell me which Pokemon to be. It's happening. I'm doing
That's
it.
what is happening. And they can only speak using their name. So it's going to be...
Yes.
So,
my theater.
So tune in to that on Sunday Fun Day. It's going to be great. And then that'll cycle us back around to Tuesday night or Monday night Borderlands. Woo. Shoot to kill things. And then Tuesday night is going to be Wonder. I think that's it for the announcements. Be sure this week during Pride Month. Also donate 200 bits. If you donate 200 bits to the channel, you get a special emoji, and some of that money goes to the Trevor Project. And it's a project and charity that we have supported a great deal here on Indigo Chameleon. And it means the world to us, and we love you, and we thank you for doing that. So now I think that's it. When last we left our heroes, you all had stumbled onto the ancient underground city of Dinah, which is inhabited by the Were-Touched, a group of half-animal, half-humans that learn to channel their sort of animal instincts, very similar to Grimm. Due to a misunderstanding that is really no one's fault, Mandrake was engaged to the next in line to the throne, Tigress, because he was channeling the essence of the Cheshire Cat and had these feline eyes, and he came to be what is known as like the chosen beloved of the Tigress. So while dealing with that, we learned a little bit more about Grimm's backstory, in that the secondary passenger with him, Gray, was a member of this society and then is no longer welcomed in this society. He basically sort of left, and you're kind of forbidden from leaving because if any of the kingdoms found out that such a large force and sort of resource was here, it would be bad news. We had a little bit of a blow up with characters making decisions and changing their paths that they're going on, and others finding out the importance of names and things of that sort. So it was a fun episode, and I encourage you to watch it on YouTube, where we upload all of our episodes. All of that being said, heroes, the bell has sounded, the announcement has been called that the giant feast that you guys are about to partake in is ready. Because this feast is ready and people are sort of making their way to the square, not all of the shops are closed. It's not everyone in the whole town that sort of comes out, but a good majority of the leaders of the town are all sort of making their way towards the town square. You are granted an hour of free time to make your way about the town, to follow and do anything that you would like to in the town of Dyna. So, all of that being said, what would you like to do with your time?
I'm trying to find a merchant who looks like they're selling possibly some armor, some good things like that.
Sure, yeah. Give me an investigation check. And if you're going solo, but if you're taking somebody with you that might be able to help you out, that has good investigation. Unless you want to.
Anyone go with me?
All right. Did you get in that one?
Maybe.
Am I there, or am I still with Tigress?
You are still with Tigress, but I think once the call sounds, you notice that people are sort of branching out. You got a nat 1. You know what? I will say that because of the nat 1, it takes you a long time, and you don't. Your normal charismatic self, you're in a strange place, so you do the thing where like you look around for a while, and then all of a sudden you just go, F it, and you get to a small like part of the town. You're like, armor. I'm looking to buy armor. Armor. To wear, like, and Dave, you just start doing up in your natural charisma.
Clothing that protects you. Anybody know where I can find that?
I have armor, and this small sort of man who has this really long mustache that seems to like go down and then sort of come like connected, like at the bottom, like, and he just sort of a furry little like Weasley-looking guy. He's like, I have armor for sale.
Oh, that's wonderful. I've recently come into some new abilities. Long story. But, would you, by chance, have anything that could help someone be maybe a little harder to hit?
This way. And he sort of, like, makes his way off into this little, like, sort of shopping district. And as he does, he comes over to a small tent that is set up. And there's a little sort of wear touch there, and he sort of shuffles them off, and they sort of move off. And you do see that he's got a wide selection. So he's like, you're looking for protection, yes?
Yes.
Oh, good. What sort of protection? Anything in mind?
Well, I was thinking something maybe like a half plate or something.
Half plate, yes. Very strong, hard to hit. I do have regular half plate here that I can give to you, and unless you're looking for something a little more.
Well, what's kind of more?
Yes, more. And he grabs. He goes over to a little chest, and he like drags the chest over, and it takes a little bit of time. And he goes, I do have quite a bit here of magical. Don't ask me how I came about it, but I did come about it. I happen to have. You know what? I'll let you roll this. Give me 2 d20s. I'll refit. Let's see what sort of magical armor he has.
One's a 10, one's a 4.
Okay. He's like, yes. Oh, yes. I have so much here. I have this very special. This is mithril half plate. It once belonged to the king of Dyna until he died.
How did he die?
Poisoned. Nothing to do with the armor.
Oh, well, that's bad.
Yes.
Okay, and...
I also have this, let's see, I have this half plate
of cold resistance. Cold damage would not do much to harm you while you wear this armor.
Okay.
The mithril half-plate is very good, especially if you want to be sneaky. Normally wearing such heavy armor, it weighs quite a bit, but but this armor, it makes it so that you can still move quick and fast.
So this half plate is so that you wouldn't have to wear. It would not impose a disadvantage to any stealth checks that you happen to make.
I'm interested in the sneaky one.
Yes, oh yes, no, for the discerning sneaker about town. Yes, this is very, very expensive armor. Like I said, it is touched by history itself. What would you really to pay for this sort of armor?
I do have something up for trade.
A trade, you say?
A trade?
Yes, yes, of course.
Well, first of all, the armor that I wear, my cast-off studded armor.
Oh, well, I'm hoping that what you have more to add is a little more better than what you're wearing.
Well, and she'll just gesture to the dress.
It's a very lovely dress. Is it under the dress? Is it what?
Make a Constitution savings throw.
You want him to make a constitution?
I don't know. There's something in there about it. No, you're fine. You're fine. Well, not only is in the dress,
Yes.
it adds to the defenses.
Ooh.
It shapes to the perfect body.
May I?
And he will cast Identify and sort of touch the dress.
Oh yes. No, it's very good. Very good dress. So you're willing to trade the dress and the armor you're currently wearing for the mithril half-plate?
Correct.
Yes. I do feel like I'm taking a bit of a watch on this, but yes, of course. For newcomers to the town, why wouldn't I?
And your name, sir?
My name is Badger.
Badger?
Mm-hmm.
Very to the point.
I try to be.
And he will cast a little sigh and lift the plate up and sort of hand it over to you, holding out his hand for the dress and the studded leather.
Awesome. She'll give it to him.
Cool. Do you have that added to your inventory yet? The mithril half plate?
I do not. I'm going to do it now.
I just added it, so you're all set to go. So go ahead and put that on, and he will. As soon as you hand him the dress, he puts it in the chest, pushes the chest back, and he goes, "Store's closed!" And he will start closing up shop.
Well, thank you for staying open for me.
Yes, whatever you want to say.
And he will continue to close up the shop as quick as he can. Give me an insight check.
17.
He seems real happy. Yeah,
Cool.
this is good.
This is good.
All good things. All good things.
Everything's great.
Everything's great.
Everything's fine.
Because of your investigation check, it took you the better part of the time, and you start making your way over towards the feast and towards the sort of main area, but looking very stylish in your light, flexible metal mithril half-plate armor. All right. What are the rest of you doing?
Casting message. Can I speak to you in private, please?
Sure.
And I'm gonna try and get away from the group just enough to kind of talk privately.
Cool. Thank you, Nowadays, for upping the difficulty level of the dungeon this evening.
Wait, what?
I will work on that for you.
That's what she did?
Wait,
Your
what?
scene. I'm going to add an extra room just for you.
Great.
I have so many questions right now about our friendship. It's fine. Everything is fine.
You are the best.
We're going to fight. It's okay.
All right. Cool.
Why did you tell me not to give my name to anyone?
When did I tell you not to give your name?
Yeah, why? You
Well-
told me not to.
There's something going. There's something about him asking to have names, to have your name, and I need to ask him. There's something to it, and I don't know what it is, but he's been asking to have your name.
Well, yes, that's why I
And-
confronted him when we first met about this exact thing, and he said there was nothing.
I didn't say there was nothing to
No.
worry about.
He said it
He said that.
wasn't.
I don't know that there is something to worry about.
No, but he said it was just how he reads people.
Right, and maybe it is, but I don't know that. It seems like it might be something more, and I don't know. I haven't talked to him. I was planning on talking to him today.
Let me know.
Okay.
Is that all you're doing with your time?
I'm gonna try and find the library, but I don't know the place well.
Sure. Yeah, give me a intelligence check as you just.
Intelligence will be 15.
You were looking around, and then all of a sudden, your guide, who has sort of been sort of staring over at you, will sort of like tug on your shirt a little bit. And, what is it you are looking for?
Oh, a library, perhaps? Or
Books?
usually.
You're a
Wizard, yes.
you.
Sometimes.
Do you have many?
I mean, I can show you my book if you wanted to.
Please.
Yes, I pull it out and I kind of flip through the pages, not like lingering on them, but just kind of reading through to show that
His eyes go wide, and he grabs your hand and will bring you over to a. He brings you over to a sort of smaller-looking building away from the central area, and he will knock on the door. As he knocks, there's a sound that sort of, of dragging feet and pushing of furniture back, and all right, I'm coming, and there is a larger version of Moon who sort of makes his way forward. This is also an owl sort of looking man with a long beard, and yes, what is it? And Moon sort of nods his head over towards where the book is. And, oh, quite. Newcomers, yes?
Yes.
Well, why are you here, newcomer?
I was looking for a library and he took me here.
Oh, yes. And he will step back and sort of gesture to the room behind him. As he does, there is a pedestal with a book on it. Oh, you found it?
May I look at it?
You're still interested?
It's one book. It wouldn't be hard to figure out if I was interested after a few minutes.
Yes, well, of course. And he will step back and gesture towards the book.
I'll go pick it up.
Sure. You pick it up, and as you do, you notice that the book is sitting on top of a very familiar-looking box.
Is it the same kind of box?
It is the exact
From the
same
library.
box from the library. I'm not making you roll because you use this more than anybody else in the party.
I'm gonna think of a wizard spell book.
Okay. Okay. You place your hand on top of the box, and as you do, you think of a wizard spell book, and there's the familiar sound of a thump as something rattles in the box, and the older gentleman comes over and says, "How did you know how to do that?"
This isn't my first time in the library.
Is it? And he will close his eyes.
I'll close mine.
You see it,
Mm-hmm.
and he sees you, and he says, "Why didn't you just say that when you came to the door?" "Well, a fellow user of the arcane, yes, of course. Come in. And he will wave his hands, and the fire will ignite in the fireplace. The illusion spread throughout the cabin of being a derelict sort of building vanishes as beautiful, colorful tapestries sort of take the place of some of the doom and gloom that are in this shop. The bookshelves, which had nothing on them, are suddenly lined with books that sort of span the area. It's a very comfortable, warm sitting room now. And he says, "All right, young master, what is your name?"
Nix.
Nix? I'm swift. Because I'm so fast. In my brain. Get it?
Yes.
I thought so. Yes, come in. So you're one of us, yes? Are you here on official business, or are you...
Personal.
Personal?
Yes. I have a friend trapped in another plane, and I was hoping to find an amulet that could help me with that. Last seen here.
You're here for the talisman.
I know it as the amulet of the plains. You might have a different name for it.
Ah, yes. You plan on going in the caves?
If it's in the caves, then yes.
I don't think you want to do that. Many who go do not come back.
That's a risk I'll have to take then.
Why?
It's the only way I know.
Why? Why do you do this? You will most surely die. Why do you do this? Why do you go into the cave system? What is so important about this?
Love.
Love. You go into the cave system for love. You've lost someone.
Yes. And if I have the amulet, I can get them back.
He will go over to the wall and he will pull a book from the bookcase. And he will go over to another wall and go to reach for a book and move his hand forward, and a book will appear in his hand.
I offer you a choice. I do not think you will return to me. It is not possible for you to return to me, facing the odds that you are about to face. However, I will offer you this. I can grant you some knowledge, some time with one of my traditional spellbooks, or I can teach you in the ways of the Indigo Chameleon when you get back. One is traditional wizardry and spells of which you are familiar with and may have encountered in your travels. The other is a new school of magic, dealing with portals and transportation.
You say when I get back. So you mean after I get the amulet?
Yes.
Curiosity's always gotten the best of me. I guess I'll choose that one.
That's the right answer. And there's a thing in this book, and he shows you the page with the spells, and there's no spells in there. It's like,
But this, my boy, if you bring that amulet back so that I can look at it, and it is still in your possession, you will have earned it at that point, I will teach you spells that no other mortal knows on this plane. Do you understand?
Yes.
For Indigo.
Yes.
and he'll move his hand forward, and the sort of purple-looking, shimmering magic of the Indigo Chameleon flashes out of existence, and he will usher you towards the door.
Well, good Nix, I wish you nothing but the best of luck, especially if you do this for love. A word of advice. Listen carefully.
Okay.
Listen carefully.
And he will push you out the door and slam the door behind you. Okay?
Well, as soon as they wandered off, I was wandering off.
Okay,
I was going to go.
What are you looking for, Penguin?
Well, as soon as I'm out of sight, I'm going to change into Moon.
Okay.
So I blend in.
Okay.
And then I'm going to look for somewhere sufficiently magical looking to identify.
You're looking to do it, or
I'm looking for somewhere that can.
for someone that can?
Or somewhere.
Okay, give me an investigation check. Give me investigation or perception here. Your choice here is you're sort of scanning around and using your wits and wiles.
14.
14. Yeah, it's difficult. It's hard to see. The area you're in is a bit of a bazaar, and lots of sort of people touting that they know about magic users and things of that sort. You are a reader of people. I will grant you that, as you are sort of looking around at people and not sort of being taken in by the words that they say. Charlotte will jump off of your shoulder and sort of skitter through the crowd and move her way over to a small tent that is set up with an older-looking woman who's wearing a shawl, who's got definitely feline ears, and she has a set of tarot cards set up at the table, and she's slowly like flipping them and looking at one and sort of nodding and smiling and placing them back in the deck. And as Charlotte skitters into the tent, she will pull out an insect seemingly off of the ground and sort of flip it onto the table, and Charlotte will begin to nibble.
Alright, I follow her into the tent and sit, I assume, across from the table from her.
She does not say anything to you, but you can definitely tell that she is were-touched and she's of a feline persuasion. You think it might have been at one point like a panther, like the dark fur is still there in bits, but you see the gray start to sort of has crept in. As she turns to look at you, those bright yellow sort of feline eyes, you see a cut across her throat. And the fur has not grown back in a particular way there. And she sort of looks at you and nods her head.
Hello there. These are interesting cards you've got. Are these game cards or are these other cards?
She will sort of gesture when you say other.
My friend here, and motion to Charlotte, seems to think you might be able to help me out.
She'll take the cards and shuffle them, and as she does, give me an Arcana check.
11.
Yeah, you know what? This could be in a deck of tarot cards. She flips the card over, and it's a spider. How convenient is that?
All right.
She flips a second card over, and you see a long tooth carved with some like sigils on it, black sigils.
Oh, I've seen that. And I'm going to pull it out and put it on the table.
She takes the tooth from the table and sort of places it in her hands, and she will light some incense. It's a earthy smell that seems to pervade your senses. Before you are even aware, the flap on the tent closes. As it does, the room begins to fill with a bit of smoke from this small stick of incense. A little too much smoke from one stick of incense, but the smell is still somewhat pleasant at this point. She spends some time with the tooth, taking it in her hands and moving it back and forth. And as she does, all of a sudden she places the tooth down on the table and flicks a hand, and the tent door opens and the smoke begins to fill out. She shuffles the cards again and lays the cards on the table. I need you to roll a percentile dice for me.
What do you want?
Okay. Got it. Okay. You look through the cards and sort of randomly your eyes are drawn to one. As your eyes are drawn instantly to the card, you reach forward towards it, and she has already moved the other cards back. The card flips over. There is a creature on this card you have never seen before, and there's two of them. It's like a giant lizard with wings, and it seems to be blowing like ice out of its mouth, and it's up against another creature that is black, that is blowing like this thick fog out of its mouth. And as you point to that card, she looks over at the tooth, and she takes the card and sort of spins it around like this. And she keeps spinning the card, so the dragons are sort of locked in this dance of like white and black, white and black, white and black, white and black, and she keeps spinning the thing around.
I feel like you're trying to tell me something, but I'm just...
She holds her hand out towards you,
I'll take it.
and she takes the tooth and places it in your hand.
Are you telling me this is from one of those?
And she nods her head. She goes like this, the universal symbol for gold.
I'll put 5 pieces of gold on the table.
She takes 4 pieces and puts them on the table. She takes 1 piece and puts it on the table. She takes the tooth from you and she spins it. And as the tooth spins, it spins, it spins, it all of a sudden locks on the 4 pieces of gold.
Oh. Alright. I think I'm getting it. Okay.
Then, for fun, she takes the gold, hands it back to you. She takes the tooth and spins it on the table. And it spins around and it spins around and it spins around and it almost gets to you and then swings back to her.
Oh, you've lost me.
And she hands you the tooth and pulls out her hand for gold again.
Hand it back to her.
All right.
Well, this has been insightful. I appreciate your
Give me an insight check.
That is a natural 20.
It's hard because you are so as a fey creature, words carry power. You above anyone else know this. So to meet somebody that doesn't speak is infuriating to a level that you cannot express because you can't play with any of this. Like she's taken away your playground. You're trying to intune what it means. You're trying to intune what it means. So you're looking at the card. You're looking at her. You're looking at the tooth, and you realize that there's a duality nature here. You with the nat 20, you realize that the coin points you towards better, defined by something. You better as in 4 is more than 1, but you don't know why the coin points at her and doesn't point at you.
The coin or
the tooth?
Okay.
The tooth points at the 4 more than the 1, and then it pointed at her and didn't point at you. So something is judging you, and it's channeling the tooth to do so. And for whatever reason, it judged her as greater, and it judged the 4 greater than the 1.
I'm just going to thank her, grab the tooth, see if she'll let me grab the card and take it. If she shows any sign of not being happy about it, I'm just going to...
No. She'll push the card over.
Alright. I'm going to take that and
What side do you grab it on?
I mean, face up, I assume.
The white dragon side or the black dragon side?
Which one had the ice?
The white.
That side.
Cool. It's a little cold to the touch.
I'm going to thank her and I'm going to go.
She smiles and nods. Cool. Yeah, you make your way out of the tent. You have this tooth in your possession. Play around with it. That's all I can say. Mandrake.
I'm going to turn to Tigress and ask her. You said that your love was lost to the beast.
Yes.
Has anyone ever seen the beast and survived?
No. We might not call it beast if we knew what it was.
That's fair. Do you know anything about it?
It is dangerous, and it is old.
Okay.
And it is hungry.
Okay. I'm going.
Beware the Jabberwock, my son.
Jabberwock. I'm going to pull out my great-grandfather's journal.
Okay, what are you looking for?
Any reference to the Jabberwock.
How do you look? You're scanning words, you're standing on your head, how are you doing this? You know this is all about perspective for
yeah. I'm going to put it on my feet, stand on my head, and look up at it.
Okay. You take this journal, you put it on your feet, and you look up. Give me an athletics check as you start to...
Acrobatics?
Acrobatics. Yeah, that's good. As you start to lay back and look up at this journal.
22.
You're staring at the pages and letting the journal sort of move about, and as you start to sway, you are laying on your back and sort of looking up at the journal, and the words start to swirl and move about. And there's a feeling of falling into the journal, which you've experienced a few times. But as you start to fall into the journal, this is less of a comfortable, sort of falling into a good book, and more of something is dragging you.
Okay.
Like something has you by the scruff of your neck. And even though you're laying on your back, it's almost like you're doing a forward roll because you feel yourself falling forward.
Okay.
As you begin to feel that sensation of falling forward, you are greeted by the sight of something large and black off of your peripheral vision. It's almost like something is standing there, and you can almost see it if you were to turn your head fast enough. But you see it out of the corner of your eye, Mandrake, and it is from what you can see, it is teeth and claws, and you feel small. You feel little.
Okay.
What do you do?
I'm not going to look directly at it.
Okay. There is a... Okay.
I'm in another, an alternate space.
You are in what seems to be the same space. You can feel Tigress next to you. But you are on your feet standing at this point.
I'm going to reach into my bag, pull out a spoon, and look at the reflection of the creature.
You look at the reflection of the creature, and it is smiles. It is teeth. It is wide. It is the first smile of something that hunted not for a predator versus prey, but for something that enjoyed the hunt. It is the first malicious smile in the known universe. It is something that kills because killing is what it does, and it does it very, very well. And as that smile sort of moves and teeters on the spoon, all of a sudden it gets closer and closer, almost as if you're looking at it over your shoulder, and there is a feeling of hot breath on your neck, and you hear the slight echo of a snicker snack, and the thing in the spoon sort of turns its head and looks to the side as, give me a perception check and roll high.
I should have rolled the other one. I got a 12.
A blur. It's a blur as something comes flying out of the other side of where your shoulder was and hits this thing, and the thing is gone. The image from the spoon is gone, but whatever this blur was, it was enough to give it pause. It was little, it was humanoid, but whatever it was quick.
Okay. I'm going to kick my foot so the book comes off of my foot.
Okay. Suddenly you're back on the ground again, and Tigress is sort of on all fours, the hairs on the back of her standing up, and she's sort of scanning the area.
Did you see it?
No.
But you felt it.
Every night.
I'm going to open my lab and step down inside because Bartholomew was working on a potion for me when we last left.
He was. You're going to check on Bartholomew?
I'm going to check on Bartholomew and ask him if he's ever heard of the Jabberwock.
Damn it. I have a spirit of intellect, and yes, I've heard of the Jabberwock. What is it you would like to know?
What's its weakness?
Oh, is that how we're going to... Everything must have a weakness, yes?
It's afraid
It's
of
allergic
something.
to mushrooms. What do you mean, does a Jabberwock have a weakness? Does death have a weakness?
Life.
Well, that's very poetic, but it's just not true. I can't be like, oh, it's death, I'd better eat my vegetables, get some sunlight.
Fine, Bartholomew. But it does fear something.
Yes, it feels something.
And what is it?
It feels the other ones.
The other ones.
Yeah, the other gods.
So it's God.
This is a god. What did you think it was? A giant puppy? Going to give her kisses?
Thought it was a dragon.
It is not a dragon. The Jabberwock was as old as time itself. When you first little humans started crawling around on this plane, there had to be something that represented everything else that wanted to kill you and eat you. And they worshipped it. When humans huddled together in caves and had fire in front of them, hoping that they would stave off the night, the Jabberwock was the night. You idiots gave it a name. The minute you gave it a name, it became something.
So how do we take a name away?
You don't. You run faster. You know the joke. I don't have to outrun the bear, I just have to outrun you. I suppose if you had to go up against a Jabberwock, you could play on its one and only weakness. And it's the same weakness that everyone has. Vanity, idiot.
It's going to
It
take
is-
pride, but
It's fast, but it knows it's fast. It's the best, and it knows it's the best. Get it talking long enough, you might, and I emphasize the word, might be able to do something.
And do you have anything that might help with that?
With vanity,
With
I could work on a silver tongue potion that might give your work a little bit more weight when dealing with something. Do you want me to stop what I'm working on?
well, what are you working on?
I don't even remember at this point. The healing potion on the burner over that way. I believe the goblin alcohol. There's still some remnants of that in this beaker over here. There's a potion of invisibility that I am a few hours behind on this.
And how long will it take you to make this silver tongue potion?
If I stop what I'm doing, it would probably take me all night.
Well, I think you should probably do that.
It's fine. I don't need to sleep or anything. Let me just get on it.
You are correct. You don't need sleep. You're a disembodied skull.
You don't have to rub it in.
Can you please just work on the potion?
I'm just kidding. I don't care. I'm a skull. I'll work on it.
Thank you. Now, was that so hard?
And yeah, Bartholomew will work on that. Check back with him in the morning and you will have a silver tongue potion that will give you advantage on charisma checks.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thoe.
I'm looking for any opportunity to talk to Enwin. I know he left, but the second he gets back...
It takes a bit of time, but Enwin comes back looking a little frazzled. Has he... actually, no, Enwin does not come back. You do not see Enwin for the rest of the evening. If you will stand in a spot and wait, or make your way to the main party, you do not see Enwin even enter the party.
With that smirk off your face. Oh, so okay. Well, then I will just wait till the party. I'm looking for him.
Okay.
I will just focus.
Does Enwin show up?
Eventually, yeah.
Yeah. So the party begins. The large feast sort of begins, and everyone sort of makes their way forward. Grim is holding the sword, and it is taking a lot not to say anything, but he is oddly silent and quiet, taking to heart what Gray has said to him. At one point, Tigress goes over and says something to him, and he looks at all of you, and he gets this look in his eyes, and he looks at Day. And he looks down at the ground. And he nods his head to Tigress. And Tigress looks confused, and then she looks over at you and looks back at him. And he like shoves her shoulder. And Tigress just starts laughing. And he doesn't say anything. He stands at the ready.
Wait, would I have seen that?
You did. They're not hiding.
Okay.
There is a large feast that happens. As the feast happens, Tigress says, "Make some time to sit with all of you at a table," and says, "You will rest in the morning before everyone has woken up. We will make our way there. We will also bring someone who seeks atonement."
Tigress dear,
Yes.
forgive my inquisitive nature. It's what I get. I just like this. What was that all about?
There is a key to open the way. He requires worship. The Jabberwock. So we must provide it to him. We must fight to keep the door open. I told him I would do it alone, and he is smitten with you. Something I not thought possible. So we will fight to keep the door open while you all walk through the dungeon.
There's something you should all know. The Jabberwock's a god.
A god.
You heard me.
What?
Like,
Tigress looks confused. She goes, "What is God?"
Like Cheshire.
Oh. Alright.
Our one shot is playing on its one weakness. Vanity. I've got Bartholomew working on something that might help. But when it comes down to it, I think it's for you, Gary.
for me?
I do.
What is this thing you have? Bartholomew, you said, right? The floating head.
Yes, the floating insult.
Well, that's quite a way to put it. What is he working on?
The silver tongue potion.
Oh.
Yes, you are the most skilled with your tongue thus far.
Okay.
It only seems like you would have the best shot at that working.
Tigress gets her hackles up a little bit when he makes the tongue joke and looks between the two of you rather quickly.
You can ask him about it later.
Do you say that? Okay. Tigress will gesture over to find a way to gesture over to two guards, and two guards will make their way out of the party and bring over a young woman. Miss Audie, if you would like to have a seat for me. This young woman is being escorted by two guards. What does she look like?
Hi, I wasn't expecting this. Hold on. She
I wasn't expecting
I had no idea.
What a confusing utter surprise.
Oh my god.
She
I'm
is-
so unprepared. Anyway, here's my card.
I had no idea she was born on a dark Monday. Doctor said the roads were slick with dew.
Anyway, here's what
She is a high elf woman, very lean, very tall, very proud looking, very long red curled hair, bright blue eyes. And I'm guessing she doesn't look so pleased right now.
She does not look very pleased at all. Tigress will look over at you with contempt and look over at you, at the rest of the party, and says, we found her. She stumbled upon us. She said she was running away, but will not say who from. So this is a chance for her to find atonement. She will join you while we hold the door open. So do you understand?
Yes.
Look at me. These are good people. And by good people, I mean my beloved. You will protect them. You will do everything in your power, or I will kill you myself.
If they are good people, they have nothing to fear.
She will eat with you to establish bond, and then she will meet you at the entrance tomorrow morning. The two guards will not steer far away. One of them looks to have a very busted up black eye, and he sort of is a little skitterish. But you watch as this sort of very prim, very proper, but very poised and elegant elven woman sort of sits at the table and joins all of you and breaks bread with everyone.
Is Enwin himself right now?
Mm-hmm.
Enwin is finally himself. Did you change in front of them?
Mm-mm.
No. Yeah. Enwin's here.
I'm looking for any opportunity during dinner to talk with him.
Okay.
I imagine you're sitting just like this, and Mandrake is like eating food, and Thoe's just sort of like staring across the. And Mandrake's like, I think I'll go get us some water. And Thoe will scoot over and sit at the table.
I was looking for you to talk to you.
What?
Well, you found me.
I know.
So that's good.
Okay, so I'm not really good at this, and I want to apologize.
Apology accepted. Now then, I have to.
No,
figure out how to-
I'm not done.
Oh, right.
I'm not good around people, and I've never fit in, and I don't talk well when it comes to saying things that I need to say to people. But, okay, first of all, I know I've been strange, and I know I've been awkward, and I like spending time with you, and I'm sorry that I'm a little weird. But I'm trying. And also, I need to ask about the name thing.
Alright, what name thing?
When you say, can I have your name? What do you mean? Because I trust you.
I mean,
And we trust you.
It's exactly what it sounds like.
What does it mean to have someone's name?
What's in a name is probably a better question.
Okay, then what's in a name?
You guys snuck off, right?
No, they're actually sitting at the. I don't think
Cool.
Thoe has any idea.
Jay's just
like-
watching what's going on.
I'm also very confusedly watching what's going on.
Did he just quote Shakespeare?
Mandrake comes back with water and sees that Thoe's in a seat and sort of does the dog thing where he turns around.
Oh, you do like books.
There's no
That's
water.
what I read
Yeah. Oh, the water! I've forgotten. Mandrake walks by.
A name is, in some ways, a gift.
Okay.
It's difficult to explain to someone who doesn't. How do I say this?
Do you have power over a person when they give you your name? Their name?
Do I have power over a person because they give me that? No.
Do you have an advantage in your interactions? Is there something that you have when someone gives you their name that I don't have, or that Nyx doesn't have, or that somebody else around here doesn't have? Is there something that makes it special for you?
There's always an advantage in knowing someone's name. For anybody. Is it more for me? Depends on how you use it, I suppose.
You're only sort of answering my questions. You know what I'm saying?
Do I?
You do.
You're half asking a question.
Then what questions should I be asking?
What do you want to know?
I want to know why you're asking to have names. Why don't you just ask for a person's name? Why do you have to say it like that?
How would you like me to say it?
That's not what I'm asking. Okay. Can I trust you?
You can. Nothing I've done since I walked inside that house and took that man out has done anything to hurt you.
I didn't
Well,
think
nor
it
will it.
had. Can Nyx trust you? Can everyone else here trust you?
Aye.
Okay.
There's no reason not to. As I recall, I was the one who told Nyx that we'd go and fix the problem.
Can any harm come to us through you having our names?
Anytime you give anyone information about yourself, or let anyone in, they can hurt you. So, that's... I could. But, so could anybody else. You're at no risk of me knowing your name and doing something wrong with it than anyone else.
If another of your people said, "Can I have your name?" should I give it to them?
You could try, but I've got it.
So only one person can have a person's name?
As I understand it.
That sounds really dangerous.
Okay.
Okay.
You have nothing to fear from me. I promise.
Okay. Thank you.
Now,
It's awkward.
Yeah.
Everybody's just sort of eating silently as mommy and daddy fight at the dinner table. We have to pretend that mommy and daddy are fighting and just like continue eating. Like,
I'm not sure that I have a song for this one.
Okay.
Figure it out.
So I would have heard all of
We all did.
Yeah, okay. So it seems like an inappropriate time to ask this question, but what are you called?
Do you have a title? Weird questions.
You may call me Antoinette.
Antoinette.
And how do you find yourself about here?
I ran. Apparently I ran somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. I have a knack for that.
if that's not the story of this entire group. Well, at least you're in good company.
You strike me oddly familiar. Something that?
I have that face.
give me an investigation check.
Not to come out immediately.
Hey, Dice. You're being really mean tonight, and I don't like you. Please help me. That's a 4.
Yeah, she does have one of those face.
Nice.
Some people's got those. You notice as she's walking, she's wearing, even though she's holding herself into such a poise and a sort of proper affectation, she's got, she's wearing very modest trappings for somebody that sort of walks and holds herself, which I think the clothes don't match the sort of high elf attitude.
You remind me of someone I miss very dearly.
Sure, they miss you very dearly as well.
Well, I can't imagine that be so. Wasn't quite the best, terms. But if she did, that'd be a little bit of bliss, I suppose.
I don't respond to that.
You're saying all this out loud, right? There's no like attempt to hide any of this. Got it. Cool.
So,
I'm just eating.
Yeah.
For the first time, Edwin is actually eating food. Really.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Awkward.
so what do you bring to the party?
I haven't fought a lot, but I can control certain elements of nature that might help you.
Okay. Can you fight if it came down to it?
Yes.
Good.
The guard behind her coughs.
Do I recognize this guard?
Which one?
I just grin.
Yes.
You're gonna just go turn and pointedly look at the two.
I'm a bard. If there's a pretty face, why not?
Sure. Yeah. Give me investigation checks as you get up and start knelling them. Are you looking at them? You're taking time to sort of study the guards when they're not used to it. So give me investigation checks.
Can I use my DM inspiration?
Sure. I will allow you to use your DM inspiration on an investigation check.
That's like a reroll, right?
Yes, it is.
Cool, because I have...
Absolutely.
We about to fight the Jabberwock.
You don't understand.
And you taking a closer look at some guards. Okay,
I have another one.
What-
I have another one. It's fine.
What did you get? 7. Maybe they just have those faces.
It's okay. I have another one.
Audie, dear scoot in just a little bit. Yep, there we go.
Oh.
Okay.
We'll pretend we like each
So what are you running from?
That's none of your business.
If we're about to fight a god together?
Or you're gonna lay out your business for her.
I hide nothing.
What are you running from?
More running towards. Red Jack, specifically. Well, it's been nice, you guys. I've had a really good time.
You see that, right?
I see that, yes, sir.
All right.
Running toward.
As she says running toward, there is a sound from up front as the chieftain sort of dismisses everyone from the feast, and Tigris sort of sends you back to your abodes for that evening. The two guards stand up where you are, and they don't gesture back towards the sort of prison where you have been staying. They escort you over to the inn where these all are staying as well, and bring you to a room. There are nice sort of rooms set up for all of you, each one furnished. Tigris brings you to a room, and for a second you worry that she may be coming into the room with you, and instead comes forward and smells your neck again and rubs her face on yours, and sort of and walks out of the room and nods to you and says, "See you in the morning."
Tigers.
Yes.
If we can find him and save him, we will.
Yes. I know.
And then you marry for love.
Yes.
Not to me. We don't always do what Cheshire says.
Give me a wisdom save.
Okay, no, it's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine. 19.
You feel a slight sort of tightening around the head, but for some reason you are able to sort of, through sheer force of will, sort of push it back, and you don't know why, but Tigris sort of like cocks her head and looks into your eyes a little bit, and then just sort of nods her head and sort of walks away, contemplative. We rest for the evening. Yeah. Is anybody doing anything that night in the privacy of your own quarters? No? We're good?
I know it's not something that would probably help us at all, but knowing we're about to go into a big battle, I would probably be trying to like focus more on what's going on new in me, and like trying to see if I get back in contact with death at all or anything like that. Just as like a...
Give me percentile dice, my dude.
those great ones that I had before the game.
Yeah.
That's where all my luck went.
Give me percentile.
It's a 57.
Yeah, you concentrate and you think about death, and concentrate on the sort of that I'm about to walk into something, but I have a sense of purpose now, and you feel that you feel the sort of cold embrace of death, sort of reaching down his hand to pick you up and bring you closer to the fire, and you feel like if you concentrate hard enough, you almost feel Cerberus like licking your cheek awake, but as you open your eyes, you are still where you are. So, but you feel the warm assurance of your God sort of pointing you towards, like, you are where you are supposed to be.
I'm going to cast Ascending to Felgrim.
Okay. Okay, what do you say?
Made it to Dinah, giant city, facing the beast you mentioned. To get the amulet, they think it's here. Found more indigos. Searching tomorrow.
Be safe. Don't die.
We are new friends, but I am proud to know you. I have done worse in the name of love. Power.
Mandrick is going to kind of look over his room and see if there's a mirror.
Okay. No.
Something that no,
Nothing.
No mirror, no reflective surfaces.
No.
That I could.
You can walk outside and there's that reflective pond.
No, I wanted something I could take with me.
I would say you would probably in your person have a hand mirror. Or something.
A hand mirror. Okay. Then I am gonna bust out my lab again.
Okay.
I know that Bartholomew is working on the Silver Tongue potion.
Correct.
There were also several other potions that he was in the process of working on.
Yes.
Can I work on those and let him work on Silver Tongue?
Bartholomew is happy to give orders to you, and he is a multitasker. When you come down and you're like, "Hey, is there a possibility you could just tell me what to do?" And he's like, "Oh yes, I've been waiting for this all day." I was like, "Do you mind if I call you servant boy?"
I would really.
Servant boy, go over to this person. Place some of the blue bottle inside of it, so counterclockwise 300 times. Let me know when that is done.
Yes, disembodied skull.
That's a good job, servant boy. And yes, he's happy to.
Okay.
Am
I able to finish?
Which one are you working on? Invisibility, healing.
Ooh, that's a hard choice. Wait, there were three.
Healing, invisibility. What was the other one I said? Huh? Oh, the remnants of the goblin alcohol.
Oh yeah, no, not that. I'm gonna go with invisibility.
Cool. It's gonna take a little bit of time, but it was the furthest along. So
right.
I would say, how long are you spending? Are you foregoing a long rest to do this, or are you spending a few hours? You can take a point of exhaustion and work on this all night and get it done.
What if I invoke my Ring of the Alchemist?
That takes an already completed potion and
I have advantage in identifying.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Okay.
So if I take a point of exhaustion, what does that entail? I haven't done that yet.
You would have disadvantage on all ability checks
Ooh.
until you take another long rest.
Yeah.
Not the greatest when you're going into a dungeon and you're
Yeah,
going
no,
on
it's
that
not
fine
great. It's
track.
not great.
Yeah. Okay.
It's fine. It's fine. It's cool.
Is there a way I could move this along a little faster
Yes.
without being exhausted tomorrow?
No. Oh wait, can you magically make yourself smarter? What about better potions?
I'm just gonna turn around, walk upstairs,
Do you have a
slam
genie?
the lid.
Say, I wish I was better at everything.
I've already closed the lid.
Let me know if you found the journal.
And now I've slid it under the bed.
I love you.
Thoe, you are resting that evening, and sort of staring up at the ceiling after the events of the day, and a beautiful red and orange butterfly will fly into the space and sort of land on your chest.
Hello.
And it will sort of flap its wings a little bit.
Is it you?
You feel a sort of a warm sense move through you.
Caterpillar. I haven't seen you in a while. What is it?
What were your percentile dice that you rolled?
They
earlier?
were a 62 and a 25.
The butterfly lands on you, and you feel that warmth sort of move through you as you begin to speak to it. And how are you? Like, how are things? And that warmth normally is this sense of contentment and this feeling of like goodwill and things of that sort. And then all of a sudden, that warmth doesn't stop. That warmth sort of that starts in your chest, sort of like filters outward, and the butterfly sort of dissolves into you. There's no other way to say it, as it sort of spreads outward. Thoe, you feel the edges of the room start to haze and fade out as a beautiful woman wearing a green dress sort of walks into the space that you are now find yourself in. It is sort of a black expanse, and this beautiful woman wearing a green dress takes a chair, seemingly out of nowhere, sets it down, and goes, "Thoe, we need to talk."
Okay, are you the caterpillar?
Yes. And she will gesture outward, and another chair will sort of come out of the darkness and go directly across from her.
I was confused. You look different than you usually do.
Call it the perks of immortality.
Okay.
I like to change.
Yeah, I guess caterpillars do, huh?
Sit down, Thoe.
She sits down.
You are my champion, correct?
I don't know about champion.
Thoe Sar, you are one of my people, correct?
Yes.
You serve me.
Yes.
Your people have always served me,
Yes.
correct? So what is it you're doing?
I'm trying to find you. But
No, you are harping over some poor plant boy that is taking people's names. You are being Nasi. You are reading from books, and you are reacting to situations. So, Thoe Sar, what is it you are doing, my dear?
My best?
You are not doing your best. You are worthy of so much more than this, and you are wasting it, Thoe. There is so much potential in you, so much drive, or at least there was before you fell into this lot of thieves, of people who take names, of people who play with people's emotions.
Well, okay, there's one thief, but I've chastised him, and
I've made a mistake, Thoe Sar. I've made a grandiose mistake, and I wish to rectify it because time is running short. And as she says, time is running short, there is a gentleman who sort of runs into the space from out of the darkness, and Thoe Sar sort of looks up. Thoe, you look up, and you see as the caterpillar stares at him incredulously. What are you doing here? It's like, we don't have time for this, so you're going to have to speed things up a little bit, Buttercup. Because all of this is taking a little too long. We're in the midst of something right now. And the black space starts to fade a little bit. And The caterpillar looks over at you and says, Zoe, I've made a horrible mistake and I don't have time to push you into this gently. So, the familiar sound of the Cheshire Cat, sort of, the groan echoes throughout the space, and he goes, tell you what, goody two-shoes, how about I take the reins on this one, okay? And the caterpillar will come over and touch you right in the middle of your forehead. As his finger sort of touches you in the middle of the forehead, the black space sort of erupts, and you are there in the center of a large courtyard. The buildings around you are destroyed and dismantled. There seems to be the smell of smoke and fire and ashes. As you start scanning the horizon around you, you recognize familiar monuments of the Red Keep as you see bodies littering the ground. There is a darkened sky up above you, and there's this odd fog that seems to be rolling in from various places. Give me a perception check as you start scanning this area quickly.
7 plus 6, 13.
You take a step forward in fear as you're trying to get your bearings, and as you do, your foot smacks into a body, and it is the body of Day, who is clutching a holy symbol in front of her, and as you stare down at Day, Grim is not too far away, sword still in hand, a mouth agape in a ghastly death snarl. The bodies of your friends seem to be littering the ground beneath you. The only one still standing is encompassed within a circle of flames that seem to be creeping ever slowly towards him, as Enwyn seems to be fighting to push back a small circle of flames that are rushing towards him.
This feels real, right?
In all intents and purposes, this is you're feeling the heat. Enwyn makes eye contact with you and reaches out a hand towards you, and you hear the voice of the caterpillar say, that is enough! And she will wave her hands like this, and he goes, Cheshire goes, I'm sorry, are we really doing this? We're going to treat her with kids' gloves? This is how we got into this mess in the first place. And Buttercup, lovely, I love you to death, you know I do, but the time for kid gloves is over. Tell her the truth. Tell her the truth. And the caterpillar walks over to you. I am so sorry, dear. I am so sorry. I need you to tell me why you serve the caterpillar. Why all druids serve the caterpillar.
Well, because we're supposed to protect you, and there's the prophecy, and there's the...
What is the prophecy?
The fire, the fire will walk, and the great fire will walk the earth, setting wonder ablaze. All will be touched by the flame, and wonder will rise anew. That is the prophecy, and we protect the caterpillar, and we protect the forest, so the fire does not take over the forest, and burn, and the...
Zoe, you are broken. And I am so sorry. I never intended for this to happen. You are one of my favorite children, but you have not always looked like this, Zoe-san. This is not who you were born to be. And I blame myself. I did it to protect you, and I'm so sorry. I thought it was for the best, and I thought if I could change you, if I could force you into something that you didn't want to be, then maybe the prophecy would be wrong. And I'm so sorry. We found you as a child, Zoe. You were on the verge of death. You were barely an infant when we found you, the last of your people. The last of the Fire Genasi, and when my people cast regeneration on you in hopes to give you a better life, to give you a better chance at this world of not bringing about the end times, I thought it was for the best, and for a long time I thought it was. But Zoe, you're weak. I've put a damper on you in this form, and I'm seeing that now. The future hasn't changed, Zoe. I thought it would, and God, I wish it would, but it's not going to change, and I realize the horrible mistake I've made.
Fire. I'm a furple. I mean, I'm not a very good furbolg. I know it is a purple, but I'm a furbolg.
Cheshire goes to say something, and Caterpillar will wave a hand, and his mouth will just disappear, and he will sort of look up his face and sort of look down, and he says, "There's a reason why you're a bad furble. Because you weren't born to be one. Sometimes people... This is not who you were supposed to be, and I'm sorry for changing you into what I thought you should be. You are wonderful the way you are. You are gorgeous and lovely and powerful, and I thought you belonged in a different way. And for that, I am terribly sorry."
What am I supposed to do?
You've got to stop this nonsense, Chloe. You've got to stop romanticizing your relationships with people. You've got to stop living in books and start living in the real world. The world is going to die, Chloe. The world is going to be engulfed in a terrible evil, and it's coming quickly, and it's coming fast, and it's coming for him. And time will restart again, and you watch as Enwyn frantically cast spells to stop this flame, and it doesn't stop.
I'm running towards the flame. I'm going to try to create water.
You are channeling. You are casting this spell, but Cheshire is freaking out. He's telling her to stop. He's gesturing to Caterpillar, and it says, and Caterpillar puts a hand out, and she says, "Thoe, there's no other way to do this. The world is going to end, and you have to start making decisions. You have to start being bold, and I have to stop hiding you from what you are. Look at me. You are the writer of your destiny, Thoisa. And it was my fault to take away your destiny. Mandrake is going to die. Day is going to die. Grim is going to die. This world is going to die. All of it. Nyx. Dull. All of it. Unless I fix my mistake.
Tell me what I have to do.
As she goes to say something, a hand reaches out and grabs the back of her throat. And it grabs on tight like this. And Caterpillar is yanked backwards. And Cheshire looks over, and as she is yanked backwards, her body goes stiff. And she hits the ground. As the visage of the Red Queen steps out from the shadows. And Cheshire looks over at you, looks over at the Red Queen, and looks at Enwyn, who's still trying to push back the flames, and he smiles. And he says, "Why don't you go to him? I'll take care of the bitch." And Cheshire goes over and cradles the body of the caterpillar, giving her a kiss on the forehead, and then gets up and beelines towards the Red Queen, who smiles and greets him with open arms.
She runs towards Enwyn.
As you run towards Enwyn, you reach a hand out towards him, and he sees you, and your hand is engulfed in flames, Thoe. You are continuing to push through the flames as fast as you can. You are engulfed in flames. It is not long before your entire body is wreathed in these flames, and as you reach towards Enwyn, you see him reaching towards you as well, and it is horrible, and it is painful, and you are trying as hard as you can to push through these flames and get to him, and the magic of your necklace kicks in. And you awaken to a void. Dim orange light seems to poke in through the void as the orange light of the morning sun goes in through the window. And Edwin, your eyes snap open from a sleep as your connection to Thoisar is cut off. And that's where we're going to take our intermission. We're going to take a real quick intermission, gang, to give them a chance to get their bearings and get something to drink and get some food. And then we are going to jump right into the first half of the Dungeon of the Jabberwock. Make sure you mark down a long rest on your character sheet. You're going to need it. And we will see you all soon. So stand by, guys.
That's right.
Hello, everybody. We are back. Thank you so much for joining us. And as we took a really quick intermission, you all wake up in the morning and meet at the designated rendezvous point as the guards lead you to the front of this sort of cave system.
As soon as I realized that was cut, he would have been running.
Okay, Edwin, you make your way over to Thoe's abode, or where she was the previous night, and what do?
Bang on the door.
There is no answer. There is no answer.
I'm going to start waking people up.
Sure.
Get at whoever the next door is.
Okay, Edwin sort of wakes you up a little bit earlier than you're normally used to, as he starts banging on doors and saying that something's wrong. And
I'm up.
yeah, all right.
Do I still have guards like watching me, or am I like free to kind of roam around?
You wake up in the morning, and for the first time in a very long time, you do not have any guards near your door, near your person whatsoever.
That's a nice feeling.
Give me a perception check.
Oh, okay. 11?
Everything is great, man. No guards.
Everything's great.
All right.
I got a bag for that.
I hear commotion. I go toward commotion.
Matrix, first thing he's going to do is run down and get the potion,
Yeah.
the silver tongue potion. And then, obviously, if he heard things happening,
Well, he would have gotten everybody up.
Where to say darts? Where to say darts? And like the door closes. Yeah, the door. Though he's not answering the door. I don't know what to. Yeah.
Mandrake's going to pick the lock.
It's not locked.
It's not locked. Mandrake's going to open the door.
Before you on Thoe's bed is a large, orange, pulsating carapace. No other way to describe it. Organic material. Seems to be pulsating.
Is she normally like this?
Give me a nature check. Anybody that's proficient in nature.
I'm a druid.
me.
Hold on. I don't
9.
think I am.
No. It's not a high DC. Thank goodness. It looks like a cocoon.
Seen those before.
You're going to share that with us?
Yes. That's. If I had to guess, it's a large cocoon.
She did talk about the caterpillar a lot.
I'm not in the room, by the way, because I just met these people, so I'm not the outside.
Yeah.
I really hate to do this, but I could ask.
You could ask what?
Cheshire.
You rang.
Where is Thoe?
She's right in front of you, dipshit.
I really wish we could all hear this.
What is wrong with Thoe?
Nothing's wrong with her.
Then why is she large orange?
No, darling, there's nothing wrong with you based on the clothes you're wearing. She's in a state of rebirth, it looks like it. Good for her. It's about freaking time.
And who did this?
Hmm?
Who did this?
Let me consult my crystal ball of answers. Oh, yes. Thank you, crystal ball. I don't know. I wasn't there.
So we can't hear this, right?
No. You just see Mandrake that's occasionally speaking to the air.
Cheshire, I know you know more than you're telling me.
Oh, my darling, I know so much more than you know.
About this specific
Do you know
situation.
A human's head weighs 8 pounds.
I actually did know.
Carrying around a coconut. You with it. Wibbly wobbly.
About this specific situation, I know that you know more than you're telling me.
Darling, if you came to a closed door, I know what you would do, but what would a normal, sane person do?
I'm going to walk over and knock on the carapace.
And the truth shall set you free.
I'm gonna go cast Identify on it.
Ooh.
It'll take a while though. It'll take like 10 minutes.
Okay, so I'll say this. You're
It
like,
would take.
I can solve this with magic, as he comes over and knocks on it. The pieces fall to the side, and you're like, magic. As the pieces flutter to the ground, they turn to ash, and a female figure comes forth from the carapace. What does she look like?
She has darker skin, almost a grayish, with lines, red, glowy lines, jagged throughout her face and her body. She has red hair, fiery red hair, almost literally fiery red hair. Like you see red hair, but sometimes it looks like there's a bit of a flame there. You see what looks like Zoe's eyes, but that's about it.
Everyone starts sweating and fire jets. As this vision walks out of this kind of like beautiful dark skin, fiery red hair, and little lines of red that seem to trace up her skin, almost like when a plate gets a crack in it and they fill it with gold to fix it.
Well, you're hot.
I'm sorry.
You're hot. In more meaning than one. As in, you're very attractive. I find you pleasing to look at, but you also put off quite a heat.
Yes, it's a little warmer than it was.
So what is all this?
This is me.
And who exactly is me? From the corner of the room after he's taken a few steps back.
Me? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you asking to have my name?
If you're willing to give it.
Absolutely not.
Mandrake's gonna step between them.
But you can call me Zoe Sar. It's my name.
So that is you in there.
No,
Oh.
that is me out here.
So who was that before?
That was me, too. I believe we have more important things to be doing right now.
I believe you have quite a bit of an attitude problem, and we didn't do anything but check on you.
I believe we have more important things to be doing right now. Time is of the essence, and we have a Jabberwock that needs to be found.
Tigress pipes up from the corner and says, I believe she is right.
I'm gonna turn to Nyx and... Is this normal for a fire genasi?
To be a not a fire Nazi?
I was talking more about the fiery attitude.
Scoot.
Oh.
Good.
Flint was always very light, if you will.
He's the only one I've met, so I don't really have much.
I thought he may have shared a little bit of his kind with you. I haven't had much time with them outside of that.
Something happened. This isn't a fire genasi thing, is what I'm saying. It's...
Are you normal for a human? Do all humans act like you?
I would hope not.
So maybe we don't group all fire genasi into one statement either. Thank you very much.
Can you give her the hat? Because I'm digging this.
Would you be willing to break a blood bone?
No, not at all. I'm having too much fun.
Well, then I'm keeping it.
Okay.
Zoe?
No, it's Zoe Sar.
Zoe saw. As much as it pains me to say, you are correct. We have more important things to handle right now.
A tigress will usher all of you forward and lead you out of the room. It is still, the city is not alive yet. It is early morning, but it's hard to tell because you are still inside, underneath this cave system. As she leads you through the city and past into some winding tunnels, occasionally she will see a guard, and as the guard steps forward to approach her, she will take the hood away from her and put it down, and they will look at her and look at the rest of you in confusion, and they will stand at attention again, letting her through. You pass 8 or 9 of these guard gates that seem to lead you to this small opening deep beneath the city. It is a black stone wall. The stone is different from the rest of the stone that seems to be filling around the area. There is a cold wind that seems to blow out from this sort of black stone wall. There is a small opening. It looks big enough for you all to crawl through, and that is where the cold wind is coming from. Tigress looks over at all of you and sort of nods her head, and she looks at Grim, and Grim sort of smiles and holds onto his sword, and he walks over towards you, and he says, "Hey, drinks when you get back."
You're right.
Sure. I might.
Okay.
And he goes to do something and it stops himself. And Tigress goes, "We will walk into a small area. There is a large door. When Grim and I start fighting the creatures from the shadows, the door will open. You will have a limited amount of time to make your way through the door. I do not know what is on the other side. Be smart. Be cunning. But hurry back, please."
Before we go, I was told by some very smart people to listen carefully. I don't know if that's in relation to the Jabberwock or what it says or hearing it, but just keep that in mind as we go.
Alright. Who's the first to crawl through
Mage
armor.
Any other spells cast at this point?
No, but before we go, I'm going to walk over, look at Grim, grab his arm, do one of those hand and, like, you know, the forearm shake.
He'll pull you in.
Mm-hmm.
He'll pull you in and kind of smile, and like he kind of lets go of the arm at one point and puts you in a big hug. And he goes, "Hey, listen. Apparently, there's a chance that the two of us in particular, don't come back from this. So if that's the case, I need you to look after. Not that she needs looking after, but just
the two of
Tigress and I. We got to keep fighting these things to keep the door open. So we'll keep going as long as we can, but just dude, don't be an idiot. Come on, do this. This is fine. I fought bigger things than this.
I'm not worried about you.
That's right.
I mean, there's two of you in there.
Yeah.
You keep her safe? I'll watch after her.
Done and done, my dude.
And I will hand... Yeah, I'll hand him one potion.
Alright, what are you handing him?
The potion of healing.
Got it. He'll take it and be like, "Sweet!" and put it at his side.
Okay.
Tigress is the first one to enter into the darkness. As she enters into the darkness, there is a moment where, like, she's there, and you can sort of see her entering into the space, and it's almost like her foot crosses this certain point, and she is gone. Grim follows, not too far behind. He sort of smiles at all you guys and gives a little wink, and crawls into the darkness.
I'm going to tap the Silver Tongue potion,
Okay.
point at my hand bow to her,
Okay.
and then gesture for her to go in front of me. Day. That was for you.
As you all enter in, I need to know the order quickly.
I'm going first.
You point over at Day, and as you're pointing over at Day, Thoe, in a bold move, just sort of like pushes you off to the side a little bit and goes through the hole right behind Grim. Who's going next?
I'll follow.
Day?
I'm going to go right behind her.
Before I go in, though, I look at Antoinette and I say, if you need anything, you're with us now. Just let us know, okay?
Wisdom save.
It's in that one.
Got it. Perfect. Great. Love it. That's what I need.
I'm gonna go after him.
Cool.
Anyone's going last.
Anyone's going last. Antoinette, you going in?
I want to go last, but I see him
That's
not going
unfortunate, you're in
last.
trouble.
The two of you are sort of standing there, and it's a bit of a stare off, and Charlotte the spider gets a little uppity.
I'll just go.
Yep, Antoinette goes in, and then you are followed closely in. Those of you that enter into the battle, I want to say after day, you notice that Grim and Tigress are kneeling at a point, and each one of them has sliced their palm open, and they're sort of maintaining eye contact with each other. And as the last one of you enters in, they slam their bloody palm down onto the black onyx stone. As the stone alights with the blood, you hear this soft laugh coming from all different directions that echoes in your brain, activating the sort of prey response. Everybody has that moment where you're afraid of the dark. Even as an adult, you have that moment as you get up and you stare and the night stares back at you, and the hairs on the back of your neck stand up as that sound from the dark echoes in your ears, and a doorway appears in the center of the room across from you all in the stone, and Tigress yells, "Go! We will hold them off."
I will go ahead and go, but before I leave, I'm gonna look at Grim, reach over and touch Tigress, and then in.
Okay, cool. Yeah. As you go to touch Tigress, she'll grab you by the neck and pull you in and give you a kiss. And she'll let go of your shirt. And and she will let you go. As you guys go tearing across the space, that's when you start hearing the howls as a different beast start appearing, small at first and then growing in size. And the last sight you see is that of Grim cracking his neck, rolling his shoulders back, and giving a bring it look as two wolves come tearing in from the darkness on either side, and you make your way through the door. You make your way through the door into a large courtyard. The courtyard seems to have grass growing all around. You look up at what you think is going to be a cave ceiling, but it is not. You see a star-filled sky around you. The stars themselves seem to shift into different patterns, and then stop, and then shift into a pattern, and then stop. Before you, in this area, are 3 doors that seem to be floating in the air in front of you. One is a yellow door at the top and orange at the bottom. So think of it like a cut diagonal on the door, yellow and orange at the top. Okay. Then there is a green and red door. And last but not least, there is an indigo and a dark blue door. 3 of them.
Hat's gone. Invisible.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, you knew somebody who's good with
What are the doors made of?
You give me an investigation check.
Yes.
Yeah. Which door are you walking up to?
That was a nat 1, so it really doesn't matter. I'm going up to the yellow and orange.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You go up to the yellow and orange door, and you're sort of you've got your hand placed against it, and you're sort of trying to trace the material, and you're looking at this very analytically. And as you place your hand against the door creaks open a little bit. As you're not even touching it, you're just getting close and examining it, and the door sort of creaks open. It's almost like it's being pushed with your hand open. It's not open fully, but it opens just a little bit.
I look inside.
You look inside. Before you is a stone face. There are 2 giant red rubies in this stone face. It looks like you're back in stone walls, stone ceiling. The giant red rubies emit a faint glow, and lit torches seem to ignite as you poke your head in through the door.
Okay. But nothing else has happened other than me just being able to see inside the door.
Other than being able to see inside the door, you have not stepped over the threshold.
So I'm going to go to the green and red and try the same thing, touching towards it without going in and look in.
The red and green will open. This is very much similar to the same way that the other one did, where you'll look inside and you'll see a body of water and a small fog bank that seems to have rolled into where this body of water is. You can't see much beyond the fog bank.
I describe all this to them and then do the same with the indigo blue.
It does not open when you get your hand close to it.
Mandrick's going to fall backwards and look at the stars and try to discern a pattern.
Give me an investigation check and tell me what languages you speak, please.
I speak Common, Gnomish, Primordial, and Sylvan.
Okay. Give me an investigation check.
14.
You are staring up at the stars, and as Thoe is sort of moving around, Thoe is moving around the place and sort of examining the doors. As you sort of stare up at the sky, you are trying to fade everything out. And as you look, you think you catch the hint of one word that forms within the stars for a brief
In a language I speak?
In Primordial.
In Primordial.
You see the word entreat.
I'm going to say out loud. So word entreat mean anything to anyone?
I'm going to be hyper specific with you here.
Okay.
When you say, hey, does the word entreat mean anything to anyone? Do you stop looking at the stars
Nope,
and then turn to them?
Nope, I keep looking up.
The minute you say, hey, does the word, the stars go back to their spot. They stop moving.
Okay. No? No one? Nothing?
The word what?
Entreat. I saw it in the stars.
Day's gonna look up, like,
Cool. How long do you look?
she'd probably look as long as he does, trying to see if there's
Mandrick's
anything.
literally just laying on his back, arms behind his head, looking at the
Is
sky.
anybody joining him?
I look briefly and then I'm going to go look at the indigo door.
Cool.
Just kind of.
What does everybody else do?
Without touching.
He's welcome to look at the indigo door. I'm about 4 seconds from opening the indigo door.
Okay, so I will say this. About 30 seconds go by while you're sort of looking at the doors and he's saying stuff. As everyone lays down on the ground and nobody's saying anything, the stars start swirling again.
I'm going to say entreat again.
Okay, the stars freeze. You said it out loud, correct?
Right, yeah.
Got it.
Humor me? Everyone together? Entreat.
Entreat.
The stars do not move. In check. Next.
Ooh. Straight intelligence?
Yep.
That's going to be a 23.
It's okay. You start thinking about what the god is. It's the god of the hunt. It's the god of like enjoys the kill, right? And the most vital thing to do that, like you knew you were in trouble back in the day when like you'd be walking through the woods and the birds would stop, and everything would stop, and then all of a sudden, what's his name's words echo back in your head, and he said,
Listen carefully. So I'm going to message each one individually. Maybe we shouldn't talk out loud right now.
so you get a message in your head that says, "Hey guys, maybe we shouldn't talk right now." And do people stay silent? So people stay silent for a while, and the stars swirl, and you see the word entreat again. And as the stars start to swirl, other words start forming in primordial until the stars continue to swirl faster and faster. It takes a while. It takes a few minutes of time as the stars continue to swirl and swirl and swirl and swirl until who all here speaks primordial? If you speak primordial, this is what the words say, and I imagine you translate this for everyone, okay? Through the evils, I entreat. The ground broken, but do not seek. First one to forward will find the light, and gleaming teeth shall take a bite.
First one to forward what?
First one to forward will find the light, and gleaming teeth shall take a bite. As everyone takes some time to register that, what are people doing?
I'm placing my hand on the indigo door.
Cool. You place your hand upon the indigo.
What's it made of?
It's a feels. Feels wooden. Give me a perception check.
16.
You hear a faint sound of music coming from the other side of the door. As you sort of get close and place your hand against it, you're hearing like faint music.
What kind of music does it sound with? Like upbeat singing?
Yeah, you spend enough time in Felrin's club to realize that this is sort of a jaunty tune. Maybe something you would hear in Wonder, or something you would hear somewhere else, like in a different sort of club. Do you share that with the group?
Yes.
All right.
Are we speaking? Are we?
It's up to you guys.
I'm just asking.
I can only share that verbally. I can't
Okay.
share
She
it in
shares it
any
verbally, and the stars stop. But you spent enough time
Okay.
realizing that was the message set forth.
I'm gonna go put my ear on the door.
Yeah, you're hearing faint music. She's right. There's something coming from this.
Okay. I can't remember. So, tell me if I'm wrong, but you guys shared the indigo thing.
Not anymore.
We don't share it.
No, but you shared it with us. That there was a connection.
Oh, yeah, you saw it.
Yeah, okay. So I'm gonna like wave you over.
Our message, what is it?
Touch the door.
Feels like a door.
This, the cave, the Jabberwock, all of these things are just a stepping stone on the way to the things that we need to do. We need to go through them. We can heal. We can take care of these things later. We need to do this now. We cannot afford to stand here talking about this.
Wow, you are different.
And she opens the door.
Bam! You guys watch as Thoe Sar will reach forward and grab the doorknob. As that happens, there is a moment where Thoe begins to shake and vibrate a little bit. Does anybody do anything? You've got about a reaction here to do something.
I'm gonna reach out, grab her, pull her back.
Oh, you reach out and grab. Anybody else doing anything? 3, 2, 1. Good. The two of you find yourselves in a room. There is a woman, or what appears to be a woman, sitting in a chair in this room. She's skeletal. She's gaunt. Bits of skin are falling off of her. She's looking into a mirror and brushing her hair, and as she does, the brush goes through her hair, tearing out small pieces of the hair. As she continues to stare in the mirror, brushing her hair, pulling little bits out of her hair.
Hello. Who are you? I go and turn so that my face is facing the mirror so that she can see my face in the mirror. I touch her arm.
As you touch her arm, the hairbrush will turn into that of a knife, and she will look over at you and let loose a guttural scream as she takes the knife and stabs him in your direction. As she stabs him in your direction, you and Mandrake find yourselves out of the space, standing in front of the door. I will go ahead.
So Mandrake is going to say, okay, when I say that we're being a little impulsive here, it really says something.
Thoe here. Hang on, I have to get to the right side.
No.
Thoe, okay, Thoe, you take 4 points of psychic damage as you come out of this space.
Okay, I don't recommend that door.
That door still may be an acceptable door, but we might want to try the other ones first.
What's
This-
happened in that door?
There was a woman, brushing her hair,
She had a hairbrush and a mirror and she tried to stab me.
and she was also obviously dead.
Or very, very old.
Are we talking skeletal, undead?
Yes!
All of the above.
Let's try that door.
Also, this new Thoe, maybe she should be in the back.
Oh no, she's got stepping
I'm
stones to
sorry.
get to.
Thoisar. You do have an entire group here that we need to be concerned with?
Wisdom save, Thoisar.
Nope.
So as you say this to her, something weird happens. You know that red hair of hers?
Oh, jeez.
It's not hair so much anymore as it starts to light up a little bit. You realize that the term fiery redhead is taking on literal connotations as she's sort of staring at you and you're sort of talking about her.
Yeah, that's normal.
No.
All I'm saying is, there are 6 of us. Your actions affect all of us.
So far they have not, and so far we're moving forward instead of just talking.
So far we've been lucky.
Would you like to stay back here and chat with everyone else while I find out
That
what's behind the other
is
doors?
enough, you two! I am tired of this! We're always fighting! We're in the middle of a freaking dungeon, for Christ's sake!
Oh, we don't need to fight right now.
We don't need to fight,
No.
but you're both doing it anyway. So Thoisar, please stop. Please calm down. Mandrake, please just listen to your party. Can we please move forward and make sure we're all safe? Grim is back there fighting so that we can do this.
All right. And I walk through the orange and yellow door.
Got it. Yellow and orange door. Face carved into the stone, giant ruby red eyes. As you walk in, the lit torches change from a light red color to a bit of an orange color that seems very warm and inviting. As you get close to this giant stone head, it doesn't move, it doesn't make any change to its appearance. It's just a large sort of stone head carved into the wall, almost like Olmec from Legends of the Hidden Temple.
You said
Okay.
rubies for eyes?
Rubies for eyes.
Mandrake's gonna go look really
Give me
closely at the rubies.
investigation checks. Is anybody helping with this investigation check?
I'll go look at them.
Sure. So you can take this at advantage, or each of you can roll separately.
I'll roll.
So 23.
15.
Yeah, you're looking at it, and they look rubies. I mean, these are the largest rubies you've ever seen. I would say with over 20,
23.
You notice a small slit in the mouth of this statue, and as you're looking at it, you're like, "Oh, that's weird." There's a small, little hole, and you start looking through. You're like, maybe a dagger, maybe like a stone, maybe a coin.
The platinum coin that I won is gone, correct?
Oh,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, it took half my gold.
Oh yes, my dude.
Okay, so I'm gonna take 1 gold coin.
Got it. Roll me a D20.
Well, that probably didn't go as I thought it would. Oh, nat 20, we're good.
As you place it,
He's like,
okay.
hold on.
Okay.
Celebrate. Just kidding.
Nat 20 though, those are always good. Yeah?
Nat 20s are always good.
For me?
Chase that paper. A small slot will open up in the mouth as you place the coin in. The jaw will unhinge itself from the mouth itself, and a small potion bottle will drop, a glass vial with a cork inside of it.
Ooh. Take that.
Cool.
Put my finger in it
Okay.
with my alchemist ring to identify it.
Okay. As you place your finger inside of this, you realize that this is a potion of animal friendship. It's a muddy liquid. It's got little bits in it, like a fish scale or something. And then when it's drunk, a person can perform the spell Animal Friendship for 1 hour.
Well, this seems absolutely useless at this moment, but I'll take it. And I put it right up. Those rubies. They're in there, right?
Yeah.
Real in there?
I mean, what do you want to do, my dude?
What do you think I want to do? Let's be honest. So I'm going to take my piton that's used for climbing rock walls.
Sure.
Really?
Good. All right. Give me a Constitution.
I'm Abu as a human, okay?
Give me a Constitution saving throw, Mandrake.
That didn't go well. It did not go well. It's a 3.
Who is in the room?
Apparently I am.
Everybody, not Enwin. As you all watch as Mandrake hits this ruby in the center or in the side to see if you can pop it out, and there is a as the pressure in the room equalizes, and Mandrake is no longer there. His clothes, his items, his gold, everything on his person is still in the room, but Mandrake body and soul are not in this room anymore.
Okay.
Mandrake, you are looking around and you are seeing a red sort of void as you swim around in this red sort of void. You don't know what it is, man. You're just sort of like looking around. It's like you're swimming in this big sort of like red swimming pool.
I'm going to try to access Cheshire. Anything?
Yes. Okay, so here's what happens. As you channel the Cheshire Cat, thank you so much, Impartial Sanity. Thank you so much for joining us here on Indigo Chameleon, and thanks for the raid. We love you. As you start channeling the Cheshire Cat and sort of looking around the space, Cheshire's like, "Oh, you done did it now, boy. What is it you're looking for?"
It was shiny?
It was very shiny. And I think that was the point. You see, sometimes, and stay with me on this, someone will put something shiny in a space and go, "All right, everyone, don't touch it." And then one moron will come over and touch it.
Right, but you are the god of chaos.
I am the god of chaos. What would you like me to do here? You're not really great about holding up your end of the bargain on things. See, you complain quite a bit. And that's why I think you should be paying attention more to those gentlemen over that way. And these tubular creatures will start swimming through the red liquid in front of you. I don't know how to describe them, buddy, but if you Google the word water bear,
nope, I know what those are.
you will see exactly what I'm talking about. It's these two creatures.
It's a tardigrade?
It is a tardigrade. As these two gigantic-looking tardigrade, and you look down at your person and realize that you are stark naked, and you have no equipment. As these two giant tardigrades run through you. Now, tardigrades are these amazing little creatures that can survive in all sorts of environments. And this is a quick little homage to Adventure Zone. Love you, boys. So you watch as these two tardigrades start swimming towards you in the red, inky expanse. People outside, what are you doing?
I'm looking like around this head. I'm trying to see if there's any other things besides these giant rubies staring in your face.
Nope. You see a small slot where the coin could go. I think you all watched as Mandrake did that, but there's a brief moment of panic. Probably not for you because you don't know him. But Mandrake, I'm going to have you go ahead and roll initiative for me, big guy.
Okay.
Remember to remove your armor from D&D Beyond when it comes to armor class. All right, guys. What happens next?
Is anyone honestly surprised? Let's be honest about that.
I'm gonna call.
Only because you just had a
You're gonna do
conversation
what?
about being impulsive.
Is he alright?
I'm outside.
Well, that's why I'm calling.
Yeah, he's sticking his head towards the door. He's like, "Do you still feel him?"
Oh, I don't have any armor.
He seems fine.
No. All right.
Alright, well.
I'm gonna go to the other door.
All right, you guys watch as she's like, "Cool, not my scene," and walks out of the door. Is anybody else doing anything in this space?
I'm right there. Do I see these things coming towards?
You are still out in the space. Do you try to touch one of the rubies that he touched?
No, I was going to touch the stone face, not the rubies.
Yeah, you start touching the stone face. Give me an investigation check as you start examining the stone face.
Is the hat still there? Because it's attached. It's like attached to
Oh,
my
the hat
being.
is definitely still there because
Okay.
otherwise you wouldn't be able to talk to our good boy Cheshire.
Right. No, I just want to make sure.
16. You know what? You start looking at the face, and your eyes glance over the red, and then you kind of come back around, and it's weird. Inside this red ruby, you see a really little, like, this is the weirdest thing. It looks like a tiny naked man who's swimming around in this ruby for some reason. And there's a couple of other little shapes as well, and it's really tiny, but as you look around, you see sure enough, a tiny naked man swimming around.
I cast Dispel Magic on the ruby.
Okay, give me a D20, please, and add your spellcasting modifier to that.
Oh. That was a 4 plus 6, 10.
Love it! Yes, okay. Roll the D4 for me.
1.
All right. Thoe will cast Dispel Magic, and as the magic starts to take hold of the ruby, you feel that same sort of magic sort of envelop you, and for a brief second, you think you're going to come out, and then the magic redirects, and suddenly, in the space in front of all of you, flopping around in the room is a dog-sized, tubular, worm-looking thing with large teeth, and it's sort of like flopping on the ground, sort of like moving its head back and forth. But one of the tardigrades swimming towards you is gone.
Okay. I'm going to again just continue my conversation with Cheshire.
Okay. You're not going to know this reference, but if you had seen the movie Jaws, this would be amazing.
Fantastic. Tell me, you said that I am not so great at holding up my end of the bargain?
Yes.
I believe my end of the bargain was to cause chaos.
It is.
And I have done just that at every turn.
But then you complain about it, Cheshire. Why would you get me engaged?
Not part of the agreement. We didn't say what I could and could not say. All we said is that I would cause chaos.
Understood. Make me a persuasion check.
No, it's not terrible. It's not terrible. It's it's not great. It's a 12.
All right. Give me the silver tongue potion. If you surely trust in me and you want to uphold your end of the bargain, nothing more chaotic to me is than spurring a little chaos in the party as well. Come on, think how funny it would be. You don't have it, you don't know what happened to it. That is chaos. And I'll get you out of this situation lickety-split.
And if we all die, the chaos ends there.
No, there's always a little bit of me in the world.
Yes, but without a herald. You always come at my time of need.
I so do.
The day is going to be so mad at me.
I know. It's gonna be great.
It's yours, but I get the ruby.
Fair. A large naked mandrake makes his way out into the space, landing on top of the tardigrade, squishing it beneath his feet. He is clutching a ruby in his hand, and he is dripping a red, viscous fluid as he stands in the space and appears in front of all of you.
Gather some in a vial.
You're gathering some of the red liquid?
Yeah.
Done, homie. Yeah, you take a little bit of the vial from your pile of clothes, not getting dressed, but...
Oh no, I also get dressed.
After you gather some of the
After
liquid.
I gather some liquid, yes.
Yeah.
So I'm there. Though he didn't disappear when all of this happened. She sees him now down naked. Okay, got it.
And he's holding one of the gems. As he holds one of the gems, the door begins to glow faintly.
Are you going to try and get the other one, or...?
Please don't.
Let's just try going to the door now. It's glowing faintly. We can go and just...
I have some news.
Hey, it's me, your conscience. Definitely grab the other one. No, I'm just kidding. You'll die. You'll die.
So I have good news and bad news.
Okay, bad news first, that eases it when he tells the good news.
I no longer have the silver tongue potion.
Okay, what's the good news?
I have this ruby.
And I go for the...
As everyone walks out of that door sort of blips out of existence. And you watch it as it disappears. You were headed towards another door, correct?
Yeah.
Which door were you headed towards?
So not the one they disappeared in, the other one.
Alright. There is a space in front of you. It is a large body of water. It looks to be a faint fog bank rolling in.
You're going in there by yourself?
Yep.
Yeah, I just walked around. I don't care about that dude.
Get dressed.
Getting dressed.
First thing I'm going to do is. Where is it? I had it. Where'd it go? One second. I don't know how to D&D. First thing I'm going to do is. I'm going to cast Warding Wind.
Okay.
Kind of get rid of the fog in the room.
I love it. Okay, you go ahead and cast Warding Wind. As you do, you see the fog sort of like blow back from you, and as you do, you see that this water leads to this small sort of island. It looks to be equidistant from all these sort of like central points. So think green around the small sort of edge, a pool of water, and a green center to it, almost like this little tiny island in this room.
How deep does the water look?
Great question. Are you looking?
Yeah.
How? You're just sort of bending your head over?
Kinda. Like,
It looks pretty deep.
Lovely.
Make an investigation check as you start looking at this water and trying to figure it out.
Nat 20.
It looks. You go like, oh, duh, like staff, like dip the water. Like it's about 3 feet. It looks easily walkable, unless you're 2 foot like 11.
Okay, cool. First thing I'm gonna do. Oh, wait, right. Already a couple first things, but you know.
Everybody notices that Antoinette is gone. She is not with the group. Anyone kind of watched her go. What's your spellcasting modifier?
As I walked by, kind of like, your friend got lost on a ruby, and then just went to the door.
Just charisma or with
Is it just charisma? All right, roll me a charisma saving throw, please.
25.
Awesome. You feel a slight pull forward, and then you sort of stop, and you're wondering what that was.
Okay.
Cool. What are you doing?
I'm going to use my staff of...
You got about one more action before people, I imagine, start coming their way out of the room, you fully dressed and stuff like that.
I'm going to use my Staff of the Woodlands to cast Pass Without a Trace on myself, and then start walking across the water.
Give me a stealth check as you make a pass without a trace. Add 10 to this roll. Everyone else, you guys are out of that room now and standing in the glade. There are the 2 doors in front of you, the indigo and blue room, and the red and green.
The door that was glowing, because when the
Is
ruby
gone.
happened, it
Yellow-
just disappeared.
Yellow, orange
Okay.
is
What
gone.
color did it glow?
As it was disappearing, both the yellow and orange sort of flash brightly.
It's a 32.
32. You make your way across the way. As you make your way across, there is a green sort of glade. On it is one marble pedestal, and on that marble pedestal is a box.
So I've noticed that she's gone, and
Yep.
he's just standing there.
Yep.
Where'd she go?
Why don't you try one door and find out?
Which door did she go into?
Well, one of them doesn't open.
Is there any water on the ground?
Where you are now?
Yeah.
No.
No, there's nothing.
It's grass.
Grass. I want to observe the ground a bit and see if I can find any broken grass, anything to identify which direction she went.
Sure, give me a survival check as you start tracking this, where Antoinette went.
I'm gonna just open the green and red door and look inside.
As you open the green and red door, you see that the fog has sort of cleared a path, and sure enough, Antoinette has made her way through the water. She looks slightly damp from the waist down, and there's a large marble pedestal, and the fog starts to filter in a little bit as she gets closer and closer to this box on top of the marble pedestal.
Dave's going into the one with Antoinette
Okay.
because
Glad we're all geniuses here.
Huh.
I walk inside, stop in front of the water.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm through that door. I mean, he basically said she went through the door anyway, so
Yep.
I'm going through.
I'm gonna lean.
Oh, but as I go through, I'm looking over at him saying, "Are you coming?
I'm fine here.
Are you scared to go in? Did you not want to join us on this? Should you have stayed back and maybe taken a nap?"
Sounds like a good idea, wouldn't it? And Enwin turns invisible.
As Enwin turns invisible, you hear a voice in the back of your head, Enwin. You know I'm a sucker for a redhead, son, but she brings up a valuable point. What is your play here?
Fine. Any dimension doors onto the other side of Thoe.
Through the door.
Uh-huh.
Did she see it?
Does that work?
Give me.
We're gonna find out.
Give me a D20. Add your charisma to it.
19.
Yeah, you know what? You will find yourself in this space as you go to appear next to Thoe. There is a slight tug again, and you are now standing opposite Antoinette. As Antoinette is making her, she's in front of you where there's a pedestal and a silver box is on the pedestal.
I'm glad you enjoyed us.
Yeah, when I walked in, I got next to her.
You're standing next to Antoinette?
Yeah.
You're walking through the water?
Is he still invisible?
No.
Okay.
Upon doing that,
You're walking through the water?
She would have wanted to get to her.
Okay. Yeah, give me a... You know what? No, you don't have to give me anything.
How far is the water?
It was very sneaky when I
Yeah,
got
you
this
made...
water.
You're next to her.
How far is the distance between the edge and the island?
30 feet.
Okay.
I'm sorry, am I behind her or am I on the other side of
You're on the other side of the box. So
pedestal?
she's standing
Okay.
here, you're direct, like you're making eye contact with him.
And Wendia, good of you to join us.
You know, it's what I do, apparently.
She smirks.
We're gonna have to do something about that.
Go on to
I can
open
see
this
where
box.
it's
So I suggest if you don't want to be around it, you move back.
I'm fine.
Mandrake, what
Dave's
are you
gonna
doing?
take a step back.
I've stepped into the room and I'm standing at the edge of the water, just watching.
Are you in eye contact with the box?
It's a silver box?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, I'm definitely looking at the box.
Cool. So you creep a little forward and you can take a look at the box. So who all is in the room? Where it happened? Cool. You come forward to where the box is, okay? And since you're who's opening the box? Antoinette. There is a.
Don't laugh like that.
The silver box opens.
Okay.
Here is what you see in the box. Okay? Mandrake, the hat is in the box.
Wait, which hat?
Your hat.
My current hat?
Your hat is in the
My
box.
hat?
Like the hat?
The hat. The Mad Hatter's hat is in the box.
Mandrake starts running!
The illusionist bracers are in the box.
Okay.
Okay. Thoe, you see a large flaming scimitar with the handle sticking out of the box. Day, you see your mother's journal in the box. Okay, the one that you lost.
I know. I know what journal.
And Nyx, you see
Lost.
Flint's ring that he always wears in the box. You see a dagger in the box.
Wait, do we see all of these things, or each person
We
sees
see
We
something
see it.
different?
What we want.
Our thing.
What we want.
Is there a mad scramble?
No.
Close the box.
You close the box.
Yeah.
Mandrake is gonna beeline for the box.
Cool. Let's do this. Let's roll initiative for me, gang. Everybody roll initiative as we figure out what is happening here.
That didn't go well. Oh, okay. Well, it went better than
Nyx, you were furthest away, correct?
Yes.
Mandrake was at the edge of the water.
You're at the edge of the
running.
water.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Nyx hasn't moved.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. 20 to 25.
21.
21. Got it. Okay. 20 to 15.
17.
15 to 10.
14.
11.
10 to 5. 5 to 1.
4.
Got the 5.
5.
Oh, you got lied than me for once.
Okay. Audie, you are up first. What are you doing?
Cool. So I'm trying to figure out was my wording when the concentration spell it was. So, I'm gonna pass without a trace again, grabbing the box and casting it. When I cast it, it would make the fog go back, right?
you're grabbing the box
Yes.
and you're dropping warding wind.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, the fog would start rolling in.
Okay.
Okay. You grab the box. Are you moving?
So he's in front of me.
Yep.
She was next to me.
Yep.
Last time I saw, he was running toward me.
Yep.
I'm gonna go like in this direction where like no one is.
Cool. All right.
I'm trying to like hide in the fog.
Okay. Give me a stealth check.
Can I use my pass without a trace or no?
It's pass without a trace concentration.
Yes.
How long does pass without a trace last?
Well, up to 1 hour.
Yep. Then you can add pass without a trace. Pass
That's
without a trace
20.
is concentration.
Yes.
So
20.
the fog would have dropped when you cast pass without a trace.
Yes.
So the fog was moving in already, and you just maintain pass without a trace.
Yes. So
Okay.
I'm just hiding in the fog.
Okay, give me a stealth check.
Get 20.
20 total. That's with your plus 10. Okay. Yeah, you guys watch as she sort of grabs this box and makes her way into the fog. What is everyone's passive perception?
16.
Okay. Nobody's going to beat a 20. If you want to make a perception check for your bonus action, you can try to locate her in the fog, but you're burning your bonus action on your turn. Thoe.
So the box, I need the box. I'm heading straight towards the box. Is
Give me
it open?
She took the box and
Yeah,
she ran
took
into
it.
the fog. So
I
give me a
want
perception
to
check.
get to it. Oh, I'm gonna cast locate object on the box.
Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, and that is it's up to 1,000 feet.
Cool.
So
Blip. You know exactly where she is.
I'm running after her.
Cool. Yeah, you run after her, and I would say she used her movement to get away, but you were right there next to her, and so you managed to get like right in front of you. You watch as Thoe saw sort of a small dim light and holds out her hand.
Give me the box.
No.
Then I'll take the box.
You can try.
I try to take the box.
That was your action, and that was
Okay.
your
Yeah, okay.
movement.
I
Are
can
you
wait.
doing a bonus action?
I don't have one that I can do.
Nix, what are you doing?
God, I don't care.
Well, it's Nix is indifferent.
It's just a honestly, I think he's not going to be able to do anything in the fog and the water and everything.
Sure.
He's going to try and go back to the main room.
Cool. Nix heads up. Mandrake.
I was pretty close to Thoisar, right?
Yep.
So I would have seen her light
Yep.
and beeline somewhere.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to follow Thoisar and yell, "That's my hat!"
Okay. Is that your move and your action?
Expeditious retreat.
Is that a bonus action or an action?
That is a bonus action.
Bonus action. So you're gonna.
So I catch up to
Yep.
them,
What is your action?
grab the box.
Okay. Give me contested. Let's do strength checks here.
Oh, well, that's not going to go well.
It's the battle of the no strengths.
Oh, no, it's not bad. It's not bad. What'd you get?
8 take away 1. That's 7.
17. Take away 1. I got my box.
He takes the box from you, and something bad happens. As he takes the box from you, your connection to the earth, your connection to magic itself, gets cut. You feel drained. You feel weak. And as your connection to the earth gets cut, something else happens too. You feel a presence in your mind, and it lights and grabs a hold, and you hear, "Got her, I got her, I got her, she's right here." And she is not there anymore. Antoinette is yeeted out of this dungeon.
Cool, but with the box?
Though Mandrake has the box.
Oh, you got it. Okay, that's right. Yes.
You have been yeeted. Please please put out your torch. But thank you so much to digging into Antoinette for us. She has to work on Tuesday, so I'm glad we got her in for a little bit of time.
I'm sorry, Matrix. Two things are shiny things and hats.
But we will talk about what happened.
Shiny hats.
It's going to
we run into a shiny hat.
mythos. Aubrey Faith.
I take away Mandrake's
So what I use as my action is I cast guidance to give me a little bit of a buff on myself.
All right.
So when I was looking for Antoinette, it would have been a 22.
Yep. You kind of find a group of people all gathered around the spot where Antoinette was.
Where'd she go?
She got eaten.
You have the box.
Yeah. What are you doing with your action?
We're in initiative, right? So I can't respond.
Yeah. What are you doing with your
I
action?
think guidance was my action.
Cool. Yeah. You are at that spot. Enwin.
Does he know what these braces are?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
You feel a deep desire to grab a hold of these.
There's such a struggle.
Is there? Edmund cast Shatter. And on the box.
On the box itself.
You asshole.
Everybody has to make this save, correct?
Constitution 14.
Did I leave the room by now?
Yep.
You have left Constitution 14 for everybody else in the room.
Has left the building.
Oh, not. 8.
8.
No, you may not.
There is this. You failed that save.
Yes, I failed that.
Con save.
I got a 12.
Con is done.
You did so much better than me. I got a 7.
Everybody takes full damage. You get full damage. You get full damage. Everybody gets full damage.
Oh, can I uncanny? No.
You can.
Can I uncanny dodge?
No, you can't because there's a fog rolling. I don't think you can see this attack happen.
Okay.
Sorry, buddy.
That's 25.
25. But I believe because of your rogue, because you failed your save, you only take half damage. If you would make no, that's only dex saves. Just kidding. 25 points of damage to everyone except for him,
Yep.
including the box, and not you. Next, so you're out of the room. The box, in point of order, shatters, sending the magic with it, scattering to the winds, and the 4 of you are ejected out of the room with a very strong sort of push outward, and that door dissolves in upon itself.
The indigo door?
No.
Okay, the other door.
The
Got
only
it.
left is the
Yes.
indigo door.
Yeah.
Anybody want to make a religion
Okay.
check just for funsies?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
16.
16?
15.
Also 16.
You know what? It's kind of weird. You're noticing a pattern in some of these doors, and these colors are associated with certain emotions and certain feelings. And you probably get close to this because you're used to the cape, the cloak turning these different colors. But these are all associated with the sins of man. You hearken back to the room that was yellow and orange, representing certain things, and you think back to the red room, which is in the green of envy and dealing with certain issues. Yellow being maybe lust and gluttony, and how two of these emotions and feelings are sort of going together. You do remember that blue equals with the 15 or in the 16, everybody was kind of even keeled. You do know that blue equals lust.
So we're like gathering all this as we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
This next room may not go well for you.
Hold on, we're missing someone.
Yeah, what happened there? Just.
She disappeared when I touched the box.
No, we disappeared when the box was destroyed.
Yeah, about that. My hat was in that box.
There were actually braces.
Actually, that box. My book was in that box.
A sword that I am very partial to was in that
I
box.
think something else was in the box.
What
So,
did you see?
A ring.
A ring.
Yes. So maybe none of those things were in the box.
It's kind of. Just kind of fiery. Just want to know some things. You know, it's got I have secrets. Oh.
Well, we already know what's through the other door, the blue door, the indigo door, and so let's just go and then figure out what we need to do to continue with it.
And what are you going to do? Burn it down?
I don't know, but if that's an option, maybe.
She's gonna go through the next door.
Cool. You go through the door. There's a slight vibration as you see. And Jigsaw, roll it. See if you're into it. You are super into it. Dave gets a vibrate. Does anybody use their reaction to grab onto her?
I'm grabbing on.
Nick, so you grab onto her, and when you guys see the same thing. It's a sort of woman, ghoulish in appearance, sort of brushing her hair. As you take time, does anybody look around the space?
I would look around.
Because we've been there before. So
Yeah.
Perception checks. All around.
23.
Oh, 23 as well.
22.
Anybody that rolled above a 20, you noticed a small door off to the side that is behind her, and realized that you didn't notice it for those of you that were in the very first time. There's a small door directly behind her.
I don't want to get bamfed out of the room again because that's what happened last time. So I'm going to head towards that door instead.
Cool. As you open that door, there's a figure that seems to look surprised as you open the door, and as he looks surprised, he sort of lunges towards the woman in the chair.
Wait,
towards
the one out of the door?
The skeletal woman.
I step back.
Cool. There is a shriek as the skeletal woman seems to react strongly as the man jumps out of the space and grabs onto her, and she takes the brush, and the brush once again turns into a knife, and she begins to stab and start to push away at this man, and this man sort of envelops her and wraps around her. Does anybody do anything?
Does this look like something Day is familiar with?
Like the scene itself?
Yeah.
No?
Not like the people, but like the...
What it's happening?
Yeah.
Give me an insight.
17.
I mean, he looks to be like they know each other, and they're locked in this.
Where am I in relation to her?
You guys are all sort of clumped together in the back left corner.
And I'm seeing her take pause at this, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to grab her and say it's not real.
Give me an intelligence check.
$23.
Okay. It's not how I thought you'd solve it, but it's good. You say it's not real, and it's just enough to sort of push through the barrier of your mind, and it isn't real. And as he says this illusion in itself, this puzzle that was supposed to catch you guys up and drive you to the point of exhaustion, trying to win a no-winnable scenario of a man that lusted and the girl that tried in vain, and it just disappears as quickly as it appeared. And the door closes.
Which door?
The door in the room closes. You are back outside of the space, and as you are standing in this courtyard, a light blue door appears in the ground in front of you. It seems like it opens up to a set of stairs leading down into the grass down below.
So we knew what all the other colors meant. What does light blue mean? Do we know that?
Not with the rolls you made.
Nope. Got it.
Well, it's the only door. We might as well go. And I walk towards the door.
As you walk towards the door, though, you make your way down a set of stairs, and you're hearing the faint sounds of dripping water and ragged breathing. You get to a hallway, and because of your skin and your new sort of ability to emit a faint light from you, you start looking around the wall, and you see humanoid figures held up along the wall. Various states of health, a lot of them sort of pinned and held there.
Okay. And
It is a long hallway.
Okay.
People held up.
I'm going to try to talk to one of them.
Sure. You go over to one and sort of pick his head up, and he looks to be very much like a weretouch. He is breathing heavily, and he just killed me. I'm tired of running.
Can I pull the chains down? Can I free him?
Give me a strength check.
That's probably just a 13. Nope, that's a 13 minus 1, which would be a 12.
Yeah, you start yanking on these chains, and they don't really come off the wall.
Are there locks?
There are locks.
Mandrake's going to start trying to pick locks.
The one she was talking to?
He's going to say Tigress.
You hear a voice from the end of the hallway, because this hallway goes deep, and there's a lot of sort of individuals sort of locked in this sort of state of unrest. And you hear this, beloved.
Mandrake's going to take off towards him.
Yeah, you see a gentleman. He looks tall, but his hands and wrists are red and chafed and sort of cut from being held there with the chains. And he sort of lifts his head up.
Tigress sent us.
He starts weeping.
She thought you dead.
Am I not?
Not yet, my friend. And I'm going to try to pick the lock.
Okay.
Oh.
And I did not. They actually got tighter.
Is it just one lock or many?
It is just, it's a shackle on either hand.
Is anyone strong enough to just pull down the chains?
Yo, I could probably help with that.
Odd. Yes, random voice from the distance.
Down this way.
She'll start walking down.
You start making your way, and there's these humanoid figures, and as you get further and further, like they're all like sort of skeletal. Like the more you go, it's almost like they lead up. But as you go past the skeletons, near the end of this hallway, where it stops in front of this sort of large bronze door, there is a robotic figure that is pressed up against the wall with its hands, and been like.
Oh, it's you guys! I have something for you, and I'm gonna hand him what's left of the goblin.
Us guys.
The goblin alcohol. Because I had just a little bit left.
My dude, roll a d20 at advantage.
Because I met him in that one shot.
You did. You were the one person.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, you guys.
Did you meet him?
I think I passed them all.
Do I add anything?
You did.
Do I add anything to it?
Yeah.
What did you roll?
I rolled a 16 and a 5.
Yeah, you know what? Sure enough, as you hand him the goblin alcohol, he drinks it, and a la Popeye, key points are restored. You manage to just sort of flex your way out, and there is this loud, like, who's ready to kill a Jabberwock?
Let's go do this.
Before we get there,
Yes.
start here, and I'm gonna point at Tigress's person.
Yeah.
Break as many of these chains as you can.
Be careful, please.
Just break the chains.
No.
Okay, person.
So I'm just gonna go down the line instead of breaking.
Dude, so I love this. This is where we're going to end the episode. But, Grim, I'm sorry, pal. We're opening up with our boy. If you'll allow it, ladies and gentlemen, the drunkest mechanical man you've ever met will guest star on Wonder next week. Join us as our tanky drunken monk go boy. As we continue to go down in the dungeon of the Jabberwock and face the Jabberwock eventually. So thank you so much for tuning in tonight. We've got lots of fun, exciting things happening on the channel. Thank you for the raid, everybody that stuck around. Thank you for the follows. If you gave us a follow, if you subscribed, if you provided any sort of support whatsoever, we are so extremely grateful to all of you. We've got some big announcements coming up on the Discord, including something that I haven't even talked to Indigo Chameleon about yet. But I have been talking with some other individuals. So yeah, now seems like a good time as any. Anybody that's stuck around this stream so far. I want to give people an outlet. I want to give people a chance to play D&D even if you're new to it, but not have a sort of regular campaign. So stay tuned to the Discord for something fun and exciting that you can play around with and do, and we'll have some sort of a monthly set day where you can have another adventure in Fairly, this sort of fairy tale world that's off the beaten path. So we love you guys. We'll see you soon. Indigo, connect. And hey, do you wonder? Bye. I love you. Go the drunken robot forever.